Welcome to Palette of Talent. I'm Sara Al Alamiri. Today we're gonna step into the fashion illustration with Abir. Abir brings clothing to life in paper. Be witness to see the creative arts in paper. Let's go. Hi, Abir.
Hi,
Nice to see you.
come here.
Tell me, fashion illustration? How did you go to this path?
Fashion illustration was something I never thought I would be doing. Like, I used to sketch different things like all the time, but it was not something I felt like I was confident in. I was more onto the calligraphy side. I was more onto drawing sceneries, landscapes. So fashion illustration was not my thing until a brand reached out to me and they wanted me to try it. I showed them a few samples of what I had been like practicing normally. So, and that too, they asked me to do it live at their trunk fashion show.
Wow.
So that was a whole new experience for me, and I was very nervous, but I really liked what I was doing, like drawing people live at the event, like their dresses. It was similar to photography, but it was like it was handmade. It held special memories. Like I would sketch some people together, and it was like being photographed, but not the traditional digital way. It was like being drawn. So that's how I got into live illustrations.
This is amazing. And how does the idea come to you?
Mostly I do like...
Do you think it over, or does it just pop in your head and you just go sketching?
I mostly like at home. I get inspiration from Pinterest or stuff. Like, I see the designer dresses and I try to copy them. But live illustrations, which I do most of the time, it's the people, what they're wearing. I have to capture the most, the specific part of their dressing. Like if they have a very nice handbag, I make sure I put it into my illustration. Their hair or some special things, some jewelry. Like if I do illustration for a jewelry brand, I make sure I put the jewelry into the sketch.
That's
So
nice.
It depends on the people.
Like, do you have some particular person you look after their work, or like an influencer?
Mostly artists. Like I see how they do the illustrations and stuff.
Is there someone like special, or all of them in general?
I keep searching. I make whatever pops up in my feed. I'm like, oh, that's how they do. So I try to incorporate that into my own style. So I'm still learning how to, make it very quicker, because when you are doing live illustrations at the event, you have to be very quick. You have got like 5 to 8 minutes, even less than that, because everyone wants their sketch. So you have to make sure everyone leaves with their special keepsake.
I see. So do you think that digital illustration does affect this
I think it's
nowadays?
A nice medium. Like it helps you experiment, and it's more a speed up version of the illustration. But I feel like what the handmade illustration is, it holds its special place. It's different. It's like you can customize, you can add glitters, you can experiment with different things.
As you do it, do you believe in there is a story behind every project?
Yeah.
There is a story.
There is a story.
Tell me, Abir, is there any specific tools that's needed?
You can do fashion illustration with pretty much everything. Like there's digital illustration, there's handmade illustration. You can experiment with watercolors, there's gouache, there's alcohol markers. I do a mix of all of these. Mostly I use alcohol markers for quicker sketches because you don't have time to let the watercolors dry. But when there are some certain shades of colors that you need to make, so I go to watercolors.
Tell me about the colors. How do you choose the colors and
the colors?
Texture.
Mostly what I'm looking at, the inspiration. I try my best to match those colors. At live events, it's the people's dresses that I have to copy, so I make sure they're very close to what the person is wearing, so they know it's there. Because my illustrations are faceless, I don't like to draw faces. So I make sure that the colors and their dress, their bags, their shoes, everything matches exactly to the person I'm drawing.
What's the hardest part while you're doing in a project?
I'm still struggling with, the basic sketching, figure sketching. I love to draw clothes. I love to color the clothes in, which is my favorite part, like filling in with the colors. So that's when the illustration comes to life. So the hardest part for me is the basic sketch. So
the basic sketch.
Basic sketch.
This is the hardest part.
That's the fundamental base of your whole sketch. So the basic sketch.
And what's your best project you've done so far?
Every project, it's been like there are sketches where like I could have done better than this, but for other people, they love it.
They love it. Okay, what's your best? I don't want to know about the people. Like, what do you?
For me, I feel like I still need to, improve myself. I still criticize each and every one of my work. Like I could have made this better. I could have made that bag better. I could have made that shoes better.
We're gonna see now live how she designed fashion illustration now. Let's see how she brings the clothing to life. This is the end of my show for today with an amazing piece of art we've seen with Abir. Don't forget to see my next show. Keep in touch. This is Sara Al Alamiri.